This short tutorial is going to walk you through creating your first logic model canvas inside Educate Passport. If you select the canvas tool, you'll see there's some exemplar ones that you can have a look at in the shared canvases space, but what we're going to do is create a new logic model, and I'm going to begin to show you how I built out the world saver idea that is there as one of the examples. Now, once you select the Create New Canvas option, the first thing you're asked is who you're going to share it with, and it comes up with a default of everybody in the world. So I do suggest you change that to restricted viewing and editing. You can always add people in and share it more widely when you're done. So applying that opens up the page, and the first thing I'm prompted to do is actually just name my logic model. So that's my world saver EdTech idea. And I'm just going to copy this from where I had it already, save me typing it all out. But my world saver is essentially a web-based platform for people all over the world to enable them to share ideas as to how we can address the OECD's 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And they're a really high level set of goals that the world cannot ignore if we are going to save it. So I'm going big here. I'm going for the big one. So in terms of the structure of the logic model, context notes really means I can just say, right, this is my first go. This is V1, Alison. And I might share this with my team later, and different team members will come in and adapt it and add their notes there. So top of the section at the top there is really to help you keep track of any changes that might be made. Now, I've talked through in the video in the Learning Hub the principles behind the different parts of the logic model. This is very much concentrating on how you fill it in and share it. So I'm assuming you've done some thinking about your particular EdTech, and you might, for example, need, in my case, I need a stable internet connection. I need some devices. I need all sorts of inputs here. I need some content. And if you want to see the detail of this one, it's in the example, but I need, basically I'm going to have 17 videos, all created by famous global leaders, calling the world to action on each of those 17 goals. So videos from experts. Whole host of other stuff which I'm not going to type in now, but alongside thinking about my resources or inputs, I'm also going to add in my assumptions. So we need to make sure we've got local Wi-Fi access good enough. Excuse my typing, and you would literally continue to list your assumptions along with those resources and inputs. Next section, activities, same again. So you're going to add the activities. So learners watch videos and so on. And there might be some assumptions here about the sorts of learners that I'm going to be working with. Or there might be assumptions about the data collection. But I'd add my assumptions in relation to the activities. Similarly with the outputs. So I would have viewing data. I have a whole host of other things as well, and I might have some assumptions in there as well. So it might be that I assume that my users are genuine. That means they are who they say they are. Very important if we're looking at back-end tech, that we do actually confirm that assumption that the people we think are using our EdTech are actually using it. And then on the outcomes, I would hope that we get some engagement with the challenge and other things I'm sure as well. And finally on the impacts, you know, ultimately my big impact here is I want us to get the planet back on track. So if you want to see about this idea, go have a look in the examples, because I've built it out, and I'm throwing this one out as a challenge to the world of EdTech entrepreneurs, that, you know, together we could actually do something quite significant here. So once you've filled in the fields, and obviously you'll fill in a lot more than that, you'll take a few goes at it. There's two things that can happen next. I can just publish it, which literally puts it onto my page, because right now I haven't shared it with anybody. But if I just show you another way now to share, little plus sign up at the top right, you can invite people to edit, and this is where I might find one of my colleagues and send them a message and say, here's V1, have a go at V2 please. And I'd invite Hutan to join me, the invite sent. Now do make sure at the end you do publish, because essentially that saves it to your site, otherwise it stays in your drafts, which you can get to from your profile page. But once I've published that, two things happen. I lose my edit functionality down the bottom there, but it's back here on the right. So if I want to go back in, I can click on the edit button. I've got other options. I can export it. It does come down very prettily as a PDF. So if you do want to export it to be able to share it, upload it anywhere, that's a useful thing to do. I can also share with the URL. As well as obviously sharing the page, and don't forget the restrictions there, because you might want to change what other people might do. There is some version control and history there as well. So going to my Canvases page now, I should see I have World Saver that I've just created, and I'd invite you to go have a look at the real thing, because as I say, it's a challenge to you to go try and build it.